guys, Susan here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about this book, On Writing, A Memoir of the Craft by Stephen King. This is the best book on writing. It starts out describing how his life turned him into the writer he is today. It describes how he fought demons, drugs and alcohol, and how that almost wrecked his family, but his wife rescued him over and over again, held an intervention, told him where where things stood and what he needed to do, and he followed through and he did what he needed to do to get clean, to get sober. He perfected his craft. He worked hard. He persevered. Even when things looked really bleak, he took jobs that he probably wouldn't have otherwise taken, just so that they could get through. And through all his perseverance, he kept writing. He had there's an anecdote in here that he drove a spike into the wall of his room, and every time he got a rejection letter from a publisher, he would impale it on that spike. And once the spike got full, he just got a bigger one, and he kept going. So it's so inspiring to have a writer that you really appreciate, like I appreciate Stephen King. I am a fan of his work. I don't think there's a book that he's written that I don't like. Some were harder to read than others, but I persevered and I read them, and I am so glad I did. There's lessons in all of them. They come off as stories, but if you really understand the story, there is a lesson behind it all, and it's amazing how this man writes. There was an accident that nearly took his life and gave him a gimpy leg, is what he calls it. But he survived, and he got back to writing, and he didn't think he might ever write again. He was just lost. There was so much pain, so much trauma, so much getting back to walking and doing things that he wondered if he could still write, and he persevered again, and he kept writing. And I'm so happy he did, because there are many novels that have come since through him. This book, let me just say, here's the inside cover, just so you know. It's no spoilers, it's the inside cover, right? It says, if you don't have the time to read, you don't have the time or the tools to write. I'm a big reader, so I'm already on there. In 1999, Stephen King began to write about his craft and his life. By mid-year, a widely reported accident jeopardized the survival of both. And in the months of recovery, the link between writing and living became more crucial than ever. Rarely has a book on writing been so clear, so useful, so revealing. And I agree. On Writing begins with a mesmerizing account of King's childhood and his uncanny early focus on writing to tell a story. A series of vivid memories from adolescence, college, and struggling years that led up to his first novel, Carrie, will afford readers a fresh and often very funny perspective on the formation of a writer. King next turns to the basic tools of his trade, how to sharpen and multiply them through use, and how the writer must always have them close at hand. He takes the reader through crucial aspects of the writer's art and life, offering practical and inspiring advice on everything from plot and character development to work habits and rejection. Serialized in the New Yorker to vivid acclaim, On Writing culminates with a moving account of how King's overwhelming need to write spurred him toward recovery and brought him back to his life. This book is a must-read for anybody that wants to write a book of their own. I borrowed this from the library at one point and had to give it back. And then I came across it in a thrift store, and I immediately grabbed it and was like, no, I have to have this. So there is so much information in here, and I know I will be referring back to it again and again as I embark on my own writing journey. I have a book, at least a book inside me that I know I need to write. I know it's going to help somebody else. I've lived a really interesting life, shall we say. I've come through so much, and the only way I can think of turning that around, instead of all the tragedies and the tears and the problems, I need to turn it around and use it to help somebody else. There's a lesson. There's lots of lessons, and I think I need to write a book. So that is where I'm going next. Every moment I have, I'm going to be working on a book. It's going to be a memoir, kind of like this one, memoir, okay? From everything I've experienced, there's a theme running through it all, and that's what I have to uncover. But I just wanted to share this book with you. Stephen King, fascinating man. He has great sage advice. He is very personable. It's like a friend sitting down and talking to you over coffee. It is very low-key. It's not highfalutin. He's not talking above us. He is basically giving us the ground rules, and this is how you do it. And, you know, don't groan at me about grammar. Learn what the parts of a sentence are. Learn. You know, it's worth doing. It's one of the tools you need in order to write. Vocabulary and grammar never fail, okay? There are editors, there are publishers. He tells you how to deal with rejection, how to grow from it instead of taking it as a slam and getting discouraged. He says use that to propel you forward and keep trying and keep perfecting your craft. So anyway, this book, On Writing, A Memoir of the Craft by Stephen King, 5 stars, guys. This thing is amazing. And I don't do that lightly. I don't generally give 5 stars to anything, but this man has so much knowledge to pass on that it is worth that 5 stars. He is above and beyond my favorite author. I intend to collect all of his works, all of his written work, and I'm well on my way, as you can see by the video I did on my Stephen King collection thus far, okay? I'll link that up here, and that's all I got for you today. I just wanted to share that with you, and to inspire somebody else. I know there's more writers out there. There's more people that have lived fascinating lives that really need to write. And if I can do that for somebody else as well, I'm all for that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.